Alright, so in this section of notes, we're going to look at basic examples or simple examples of the addition and multiplication rule we talked about in the last set of notes. Alright, so the first example is very, very similar to the coffee and tea example that I did when I introduced addition and multiplication. Alright, so I've got a local ice cream shop. They have 3 different flavors of ice cream. The flavors are chocolate, vanilla, and strawberry, so 3 choices for your ice cream. They have 2 different types of cones, regular or waffle. You can also get your ice cream dipped in chocolate or with sprinkles or just plain. How many ways can you order an ice cream cone from this shop? Alright, so this is the multiplication rule, right? I have to make 3 choices, right? 3-step process. I have to choose my ice cream, the cone, and whether I want it topped or not. Alright, so I've got to make 3 choices. I have to pick a flavor and pick a cone type and pick a topping. And the topping could be none, right? No topping. And the word and is used, right? So it's the multiplication principle. I have to do all 3 of those things, right? I do one and the other. And so it's just a multiplication of the 3 choices, right? Well, flavors, there are 3 of those. So I've got 3 choices for flavors and 2 choices for my cone. And then chocolate can be topped, can be dipped in chocolate with sprinkles or plain with nothing. And that's a choice, right? It's a choice for a topping to put nothing on it. And so there are 3 choices for toppings. Right? Since I use the word and it's a sequence of events, it's multiplying all of those choices together. And so it's going to be 3 times 2 times 3, and so this would be my universal set. Number of ways I can order my ice cream, well, there are 18 outcomes. All right, 18 ways. If I was just going to randomly order an ice cream, I've got 18 ways to do that. Alright, that's part A. Part B then, so that's the universal set, that's all of the different ways. Well, part B is a subset of that. I suppose that you know you only want vanilla, right? You don't like strawberry or chocolate, you just want vanilla. Or you go in, that's what you know you want. Alright, how many ways can you order a vanilla cone? Well, I've limited myself, so that's why it's a subset. Number of ways to get a vanilla cone, which is a subset, so it should be less than 18. Well, first thing I do is I pick vanilla. You can read that. Then I still have to pick a cone type and a topping. Alright, so that says pick vanilla and cone and topping, if you can't read that. And so pick vanilla, well, there's just one type of vanilla. Alright, so there's one way to pick vanilla. There's still 2 types of cones I can choose. And then there's still 3 ways that I could top mine, right? With chocolate, sprinkles, or plain. And so this is 1 times 2 times 3. Or there are 6 outcomes with vanilla ice cream. Out of my 18, right? It's a subset. So the odds of picking vanilla ice, if I was randomly doing this, the odds of getting a vanilla ice cream cone, if I just randomly choose, would be 6 chances out of 18. Alright, next example. A local diner offers a lunch menu consisting of 6 appetizers, 3 soups, 5 main dishes, courses. So that would be like, your whatever it is your main dish is. 4 desserts. Your diet restricts you to choosing between an appetizer and a dessert. Alright, can't have both, so you can either pick an appetizer or a dessert. Alright, given this restriction, how many 3-course meals are possible? Alright, so this would be how many ways can you order your meal? Right? The first thing you have to do is you have to make your decision between an appetizer or dessert, right? You can't have both. So the first thing you have to do is you have to pick, well, do you want an appetizer or a dessert? Alright, that's the first thing you have to do. So I'm going to put it in grouping symbols. Appetizer or dessert. That's one of your choices. You have to choose between an appetizer or a dessert. And then you can pick one of the other two things. The other two things, so I've done appetizers and desserts. So the other two choices would be a soup and a main dish, right? Three things. You're choosing three things. You're either picking your first choice is an appetizer or dessert, and then you have to pick a soup, and then you have to pick your main dish. And so it's and you have to pick a soup, and you have to pick a main dish. Right? There are three choices. All right, you're making three food choices. But your options. This is one where it mixes and ors, right? There's and ors involved in here. So in the group, I have to make my decision between appetizer or dessert. So or means I add how many appetizers and desserts. So how many options do I have for my first choice? Well, there were 6 appetizers I could choose from and 4 desserts that I could choose from. So that means there are 10 options in my first pick between an appetizer or dessert. And, which means I multiply, I could pick a soup. There were 3 options for soup. And, which I multiply, options for main dishes were 5. And so it's going to be 10 times 3 times 5, right? This is 10 times 3 times 5. And so there are 150 total outcomes. Right, there are 150 ways that they can order their dinner based on their restriction of picking an appetizer or a dessert. So again, this is an example of where we've mixed and ors together. So this is the next one. Next one's also going to mix and ors together. Alright, so this is the last one for this set, for this video set. Alright, so Grandma Miller likes to bake desserts. She has 20 cookie recipes, 10 pie recipes, 12 cake recipes. In how many different ways can she make 2 different types of desserts to take to a family reunion? So types would be cookies, pie, and cake, right? Those are my different types. And she's only going to bring 2. So she's not going to bring all 3 types. She's only going to bring 2 types. And so first of all, I have to figure out, well, how many ways can she bring 2 types of desserts to the family reunion? Well, she could bring a cookie type and a pie type. Alright, so she can bring a cookie and a pie. Right, that would be 2 different types of desserts. But that's not her only option, right? Or, right, that's one option. Or she can bring a cookie type and a cake type. Or she can bring a cake type and a pie type. Or pie type and a cake. Right, those are the 3 ways that she can bring 2 different types of desserts. So this is ands and ors. This is the and when she's deciding between her choices of cookies and pie, or her choices between cookie and cake, or her choices between pie and cake. Or add and multiply. Alright, so now we plug in the numbers. So the first option is she brings a cookie type and a pie type. Well, she had 20 choices for her cookie type times the 10 choices for her pie type. Alright, that's one option, so there's 200 there. Or, alright, so that's one choice. Or her second choice is to do cookies and cake. So again, cookies had 20 recipes, and so we multiply the 12 cake recipes, and so that's another option. Or the last option is a pie and a cake. Pie had 10 options, and cake had 12 options. And so those are all the ways that she can bring 2 different types. Alright, so she had 200 ways to bring a cookie or pie, or 240 ways to bring a cookie and a cake, or 120 ways to bring a pie and a cake. And so those are her 3 options. And then we add them together. Alright, for a grand total of 560 total outcomes. Alright, so there are 560 ways Grandma Miller can bake 2 different types of desserts to take to a family reunion based on all of her recipe types. Alright, so that finishes up those are the basic ones that are similar to what we did. And then the next section we're going to look at specific types that you'll see. So the next set I believe is sequences, and we'll look at those. Alright. and so we'll stop there and pick that up in the next set of notes.